Of the many good shows I've experienced in my time as an anime watcher, only a handful have truly resonated with me. That's not to say that those that didn't were bad by any means. Some might even consider it to be better than the ones that did. But why is that? Obviously, different shows resonate for different people, depending largely on their lives and experiences. But what elements are necessary in order to strike a chord with the viewer? What does any story need to have to be relatable to its audience? As always, my name is Kat, and I've come up with some ideas. Here are some story elements that I think are important for a show to resonate, using some of my favorite shows as examples. So, 3, 2, 1, let's jam. That was foreshadowing, by the way. Number 1. Likable and/or relatable characters. Obviously, characters are one of the most important elements in any story. I'd even argue that they are the most important. I made this one an and/or because I couldn't decide which was more important for a resonating story, relatable or likable characters. Both is ideal, of course, but I've had my share of characters whom I like and didn't relate to, and a great deal more whom I related to but didn't like. However, Cowboy Bebop is a classic example of combining the two adjectives to form a compelling narrative. While all the characters have their faults, their charm and human-like personalities more than make up for it. There's something for everyone to love with the Bebop cast, from Spike's wit to Ed's craziness. And liking the characters is essential to enjoying the series. If you dislike a character, you've no reason to feel anything for them through their struggles. If you don't empathize with them, how will they resonate with you? In episode 5, Ballad of Fallen Angels, we watch Spike delving once more into the past he's desperately trying to escape. Through fragments of information, we learn the basics of his backstory while he's dueling with Vicious. But it's not Spike's, but Jet's feelings during this scene that best convey the emotions I felt. He's sitting on the ship trying to distract himself as to not care about Spike, as to not carry the emotional weight he knows Spike is suffering. Yet, he can't. He already knows it's impossible. He immerses himself in his bonsai cutting, determined not to care, but he does, just like the viewer. Try as I might, I couldn't escape the fact that I had come to care for Spike. His comedic persona and mysterious past drew me in and made me like him. But that's still leaving out the most crucial thing that made Bebop resonate with me: the character's humanity. You don't have to be a part of a crime syndicate or be a bounty hunter to relate to Cowboy Bebop. All you have to do is have experienced the human condition. We all have pasts we'd like to escape. We all try to push past our pain and sorrow by pursuing routine. At least I do, anyway. And it's Bebop's deep understanding of the struggles of being human that make it one of my favorites to this day. And even if you took away the story, it probably still would be, because it's the skilled character writing that truly made it resonate with me. Number 2. Honesty. Plenty of anime like to sugarcoat their stories, whether for wish fulfillment, positivity, or any other purpose. But it's rare for a show to depict the harsh realities of the world in an honest, yet optimistic way. That's where Ping Pong comes in. Masaaki Yuasa's most recent show, at least at the time of this video, doesn't try to hide the hard truths of the world. Sometimes people fail. Talent can trump hard work, and your dream just isn't meant to be. Agami, a supporting character appearing from time to time, loses a match in the beginning and decides that he's just not skilled enough for the sport he loves, and leaves to find enlightenment. Sakamo works hard and struggles admirably to become good at ping pong, but loses to a player who's just coasting on natural talent. Tsukimoto, nicknamed Smile, is stuck in a rut after having lost his reason for playing. But though it may seem as such, the show isn't a nihilistic one. Ping pong doesn't believe in achieving your dreams, sure, but it certainly does believe in people. Agami comes to realize that after scouring the world for meaning, what he was searching for had been there the whole time. Peko, bringing with him the courage to fail, shows Kazuma that ping pong can be about more than just victory. Wenge ends up finding his place in Japan and feels pride in the team he helped mentor. The show doesn't depict its characters failing because of some cynical, "that's just the way the world is" philosophy. It does it to show that failure isn't the end. Peko teaches us that we should never be afraid to fail. We should welcome it. And through discarding our pride and learning from it, we can finally grow as people. Most of the characters in Ping Pong suffer failure very early on, but through that they start to develop and enable us and their opponents to see them as people, not just players. Their reasons for playing also change. Kazuma realizes he doesn't have to lock himself in the bathroom and put immense pressure on himself to win. He can simply play for the love of the game. Smile too remembers the joy the game evoked in him when he plays Peko in the final episode, his hero having returned to save him once again. Unlike most sports anime with focuses on victory and shows of power, Ping Pong is much more about the emotions and realism of the game, and it's that realism that made the show resonate with me. It doesn't sugarcoat, but shows the truth and ways to be happy despite it. Its honesty was refreshing and made me relate to its characters a whole lot more. Number 3. Evoke Emotion. This one should be fairly obvious. When looking back on a show, I don't usually remember every battle or cultural festival that took place, but I do remember how the series made me feel. Every show I've talked about in this video made me feel something, from depressed to energized to incredibly, mind-bogglingly angry. I watched the 1997 adaptation of Berserk a while ago and decided to pick up the manga shortly after. The series itself had evoked emotion in me surely, but it was the Black Swordsman arc of the manga that really made me feel for Guts. The arc's main purpose is really to show Guts as an enigma, his feelings, thoughts, and motivations only making sense after having read The Golden Age. But having seen the anime, I already did, and I knew what was running through his head throughout the story. When Puck tried to touch him, I felt the vulnerability and fear I knew was coursing through him, having to remember his past. When Puck accused him of being heartless, I recounted a memory of Casca yelling the same thing. When confronted with Femto, I was filled with rage at what Griffith had done, but mostly rage towards myself. As I talked about in my Love Letter to Berserk video, shameless plug, I can't truly bring myself to hate Griffith, and I hate that I feel that way. But the fact that this series elicits in me empathy for a murdering rapist is really a testament to its writing. After the arc concluded and I watched Guts march on in tears, I realized that no anime had ever made me feel anger like that before. Sure, I've definitely felt anger towards the stupidity of characters, to the stupidity of writers, and to a creator who goes on hiatus till winter, even though he just got off hiatus and was only there for like 3 months, and he seriously just cuts out right before the thing we've all been waiting for happens. I mean, come on, man, really? But never had a series resonated with me so much that it sucked me in like that. Making your audience feel for your characters is one of the hardest things to do in fiction. But the works that have made me laugh, the ones that have made me cry, and the ones that made me think are the ones that most stuck with me. Speaking of which, number 4, Profundity. For those who don't know, the definition of profundity is deep insight, great depth of knowledge or thought. A show that makes you think can be a rare thing to find. A show that explores profound and philosophical concepts can be even rarer. For the gem that it is, Monster is one of the most criminally underrated shows of recent years. It's a brilliant character piece and philosophical study of human nature. An easy way for a show to resonate is to pose a question, especially a question in some relation to the viewer. For Monster, that question was whether or not all lives are created equal, and if human nature is good or bad. The show then proceeded to explore those questions during its 74-episode length, examining all sides with deep reverence. It doesn't give you the answer, rather reflects the questions back to you. After watching the events unfold, after watching the two sides fight for supremacy, only you can decide what you believe. Profundity enables a show to immortalize itself in its concepts. Giving your viewer a question to ponder ensures your show will live on in that individual's conclusion, or lack thereof. What made Monster resonate with me so much, aside from its characters and story, was its profound themes. Anything that presents concepts that complex is worth pondering from time to time. Monster forced me to think about the questions it posed, forcing me to think about the story and how it related to me. And that's the great thing about profound shows. They stay with you in the conclusions you draw or the skepticism they cause. But in the end, these conclusions or what I've drawn resonated with me. Different things resonate with different people, What's relatable to one may not be relatable to another. A character someone loves may be hated by another, and that's what's great about stories. But these 4 steps are what I've concluded is necessary to make an anime resonate. So what do you think? What shows resonate with you? And what do you think was necessary for it to do that? Please let me know down in the comments and subscribe! I make new videos every week, at least I do. Again. I make new videos every week, except that's a lie. I just got back off a month-long hiatus. Please like this video if any of these shows resonate with you, and let me know what anime you want to see me talk about next.